The one critical bottom line for smooth commuting is to have a high quality public transport. Once we have all these different types of public transport which are plugging into the city, we also need to have some kind of integration of modes. By integration of modes, it means different things in different contexts, but in the Indian context, specifically in Bangalore, what we really mean is that you get off from the metro and you are able to find a bus stop, or that you get off from your auto rickshaw and you are able to quickly walk to the entrance of the metro.
People are traveling longer distances because city has sprawled, city has become very big. So we need to have more integration, and then we have to have transit centers where people can take from one mode to the other mode very seamlessly without wasting time, effort as well as money. A commuter has to make his own attempts, make his own arrangements if he wants to travel from one mode to different modes. If there is a single mode of travel, then he is alright. But if he has to change 2-3 different modes of them, I will tell you, he will definitely give up on that and take a taxi or take an auto and
ಟ್ರೈನಿಂದ ಇಳಿದು ಜನ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೆಟ್ರೋ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಇದೆ. ಆದರೆ BMTC ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಜನ ಕಡಿಮೆ, ಮೊದಲಿಂದ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕಸ್ಟಮರು ಬೇರೆ ಆಟೋ, ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ, ಅದರ್ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಗಳು ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಯಶವಂತಪುರ ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಗೆ ಇಳಿದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೈ ವಾಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ದಟ್ ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ಇದರೊಳಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ರೋಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಯಶವಂತಪುರ ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ.
Nearby bus station is Yeshawantpur bus station. It's nearby, it's walkable distance. Once you go there, you can travel anywhere to Bangalore. The walking infrastructure of course is there, but you cannot cross the road. You have to go that side again. Crossing the road will be very difficult.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೋಡ್ ತುಂಬ ಕಂಜೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ತುಂಬ
ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದನೂ ಗಾಡಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, 4 ways ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ರೋಡೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಸರಿಯಾದ ರೀತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಏನು
ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅವ್ರು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದನೇ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ವಾಕಬಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದೇನು ಇದ್ರು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದನೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಓನ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಆದರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಬರೀ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದನೇ ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಅಂತ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಯೂಸೇ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ವಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ, ಅದರಿಂದ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ ಓಡಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಬರೀ ಮಾಲ್ಸ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ವೇಯಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗೇ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ನಡಿಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಸರಿ, ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಆಟೋ ಕೂಡ ಕಳಿಸಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. ಆಯಿತಾ, ನಾವೇ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಷ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಗೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವ ಬಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
The best way is to do is, have the buses go right up to the metro station, and from metro station you should be able to just get into your train whichever route you are traveling into.
If the metro is extended to whole city and then it is built in such a way that each metro station leads out to certain bus stop or bus station or railway station, the physical integration would be much better.
There are like 3 different types of integration. One could be physical integration, which is pretty much what I was talking about earlier, that you have different modes. So you have the metro, you have the bus, you have auto rickshaws, you have walking and cycling. It should be easy to use one of these and change to another. So that is a physical integration.
Metro is actually running parallel to the boundary wall of the metro railway station, doesn't have a connectivity to the railway station.
What would be critical over here is the bare minimum, the basic would be to provide for good connectivity, pedestrian connectivity between these transport hubs, because these hubs are there, they are located within walking distance. So what stops us from actually providing the connectivity?
All can be integrated with either elevated walkways, okay, or in some places walkways and underpasses. Very easily doable. Even the place, there must be a bus bay created for all the long distance buses. There is a space adjacent to the metro station of Yeshawantpur where they can stop for a few minutes, pick up passengers, and those who would like to change over to the metro, they should be able to get up, get in there itself, use the elevator, get into the metro.
So I was at my friend's at Kormangla. and I was new here, so I didn't know about the metro connectivity. I went on to their site, which had very vague information. According to it, the whole Bangalore is covered and all those things. So yeah, the information on website is not that good. But anyways, you can call the customer care and get the information. Buses, in Google Maps only you can get all the information, which bus is going when, and I think that's enough.
ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇಳಿದಾಗಿಂದ ನಾವು ಮೆಟ್ರೋ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ರೂಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದೂ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಹೊರತು ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಇಫ್ ನಾವು ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಹತ್ರ ಇನ್ನು 150 ಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರೋಂಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ.
ಅಂದರೆ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಹತ್ರ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಹತ್ರ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ರೂಟ್ ಅಂತ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಹತ್ರ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ರೋಡ್ ಫುಲ್ ಹೋದರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇವಾಗ ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲೇ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅಟ್ ಎ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲೇ ಮೆಟ್ರೋದು ಏನೋ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗೋ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಳಿದು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮೆಟ್ರೋ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು.
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೆಟ್ರೋ ಇದೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ನಾವು ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬೋರ್ಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲೇ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇವಾಗ ಯಶವಂತಪುರಿಂದ ಮೆಜೆಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಕೆಲವ್ರು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವ್ರು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಯಶವಂತಪುರಿಂದ ಬಸ್ ಇಳಿತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲದ ಹೊತ್ತು ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋಂಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ 45 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಟ್ ಎ ಟೈಮ್. ತುಂಬ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ತುಂಬ ಸಮಯ ತೊಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ನೀವು ಯಶವಂತಪುರಿಂದ ಮೆಜೆಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಟ್ರೈನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಟ್ ಲೋ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಟೈಮಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅವಾಗ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಇದ್ದರೆ 5 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರು ಟ್ರೈನು ಕ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಸೇವ್ ಮನಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಸೇವ್ ಮೇನ್ ಟೈಮ್.
The next level of integration, which is information. So for example, is it possible for me to have information about a bus feeder service when I get off from a metro, so that I can time myself or I can spend that extra few minutes buying myself a coffee before I step out onto the bus stop and take the bus at that exact moment. We can talk about better information dissemination in all of the hubs, so that it's easy to make it from one to the other. If there are pedestrian walkways, if there are feeder buses, we should know where to take the feeder buses.
Once the entire metro is operational, maybe a year or two, so both organizations should sit together, discuss on the scheduling, and there must be a continuity, so that people should not wait too long at either a metro station or a bus station to catch their buses. It is possible with proper scheduling, and it is not very difficult with the kind of technology and the software solutions which are available. And our city is very well known for that. There are very smart people to do these things in our city.
There is no common ticket which you can use in metro or in some cab or in some bus, and there is no common ticket. There are separate tickets for all of that.
ಅದೇ ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ಗೂ ನಾವು ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ತೊಗೊಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂದೇ ಪಾಸ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಸರಿ, ನಾವು ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು, ಮೆಟ್ರೋಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಆದರೆ ಮೆಟ್ರೋ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯೂಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ,
ಈವನ್ ಟೈಮು ಸೇವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
Then the last kind of integration would be ticketing, which basically essentially means that you buy a ticket on the metro and you are able to take the feeder bus, which is kind of something that is actually being implemented here in Bangalore. These are quite effective in a sense, but you have to really find your way, because there are not very good orientations and directions where, and it's not really clear where you can actually, there is a board of course, but you have to kind of little bit find your way. But these systems are also, one has to say that these systems are not yet working on full capacity.
Many people, either they would not know these facilities, what time they come, there was no proper information, and it looked like nobody was using them. There were no users of the metro itself, because metro was basically a fun train unless the entire 42-kilometer stretch comes up and then feeder bus exists. Then it would be a meaningful operation for a collaborative effort between BMTC and BMRCL to make the commuting very smooth and seamless for the passengers and the commuters. I feel even the paratransit like auto rickshaws and taxi systems should also be integrated. There must be one smart card. They should be able to simply swipe across the modes in the city, and which will reduce time and people's effort, and as well as they can save money. In addition, environmental pollution will come down, fuel consumption will come down, once people start using public transport, there are a lot of indirect benefits which we are not seeing.
The physical challenges are the levels, the barriers of the railways or the roads or whatever, but the institutional challenges are that there are so many pieces of land and some of them are contested.
The lands belong to also some private holdings, and the cost of land is so high today, BMTC could not even acquire a land to construct the pedestrian facilities for their own, the TTMC commuter. So there must be some coherence among these different bodies, identify the land and acquire that land together and create a mode integration. If you look at it, integration is very simple. There are two problems which actually stopped of making this happen. One is the willingness of the people to talk to each other in their own administrative structures. Then is the fair integration.
You actually need institutions which are responsible, umbrella institutions, which are responsible for looking at the initiatives of all the transport agencies, of the municipality, of the development authority. So, because all of these need to be coordinated in an effort to ensure, for example, something like land use and transport integration. In order for this to become a reality, there needs to be a mandate, there needs to be a policy mandate specifically which says that what are the things to do technically and who will do it. So, institutions. So, there needs to be an institution, for example, like the Directorate of Urban Land Transport, which today is a very good step in the right direction, and this body needs to play a regulatory role under which is like kind of like an umbrella under which all the transport agencies function.
Luckily, in the state of Karnataka, the fruitful integration can come from the Ministry of Transport. Luckily, we have a transport minister. But unfortunately, transport minister is not responsible for railways, because railways is the central subject. Even though they may be having some corridors up to their own length, but state government should insist that railways should pitch in and be part of this exercise and participate to make the commuter's life much simpler, easier, and seamless travel should be provided to them, because citizens deserve this.
From 2005 to 2015, which is now, the revision of the master plan is going on. So, we expect that the metro, which has been superimposed retrospectively on the plan for the last one, will actually be integrated, and land use and transport integration will be achieved in the present master plan. The National Urban Transport Policy, the new one, the revised one, has already started to talk about TOD, and there have been directions from the MOUD, the Ministry of Urban Development, to different state governments to actually start to look into collection of taxes or collection of fee from those areas which are around transit stations, and there is an established percentage or a ratio of percentages and through which these funds will be kind of distributed, which into the municipality, towards the transport agency, and they will all be using these funds to develop the areas. So, this is a result of policy coming into place and making therefore from the top making a difference to this whole setup that we talk about.
Find ways to integrate at one station, that is Yeshawantpur station, as an example or a model for the entire city. Once we do that, we will build confidence that those things work. So, we have to practice that in Yeshawantpur as a first example, demonstrate that these kind of integration will definitely help the citizens, So all the stakeholders should put money and also will and sit together and discuss how to do it more efficiently. But from a civil engineering angle or a structural point of view, it is elegantly doable.